Welcome back to our next exotics example, and we'll be extending the earlier example, example 3, and this time illustrating the Uniquify function that's built into the exotic rules setup screen. What this does, it ensures that subsequent exotic groups, working down from A to D, that subsequent groups never contain a selection that's contained in a previous group. Okay, so for example, if per the base setup we had this setup where we had 5 and 6 for exotic group A, 5, 6, 7 and so forth for subsequent groupings, it would look and say, all right, 5 and 6, that's our first selections under exotic group A, but then, we've encountered 5, 6, 7, we've already used 5 and 6, the only unique one is 7, so I will allow 7 for exotic group B, but not 5 and 6 because that happened in exotic group A. Going down to exotic group C, it'd be 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 under the original selection numbers, but in the uniquified version of that, we've already used 5 and 7 in one of the prior groupings, so only 8, 9 and 10 are left as unique numbers. And similarly in the very last one, 5 has actually appeared in every other group per the original selection, that's only number 4. So the uniquified version of the prior system is to have 5 and 6 for first, 7 for second, 8, 9 and 10 for as your third grouping as in exotic group C, and only number 4 as the final selection. Now what that means is these are all mutually exclusive. They're not in any way, there's no overlap, and you can then, this because it's just illustrative to show the mechanics, you're not going to necessarily engineer a strategy along these lines, but you may have other, once you get into how to, the planning for your exotic setup, this can become very useful for being very selective in terms of the permutations you take, and ensuring that when you do transact using all the permutations, that your bets are very efficient and there's no overlap. Okay, so that's what we're going to try and achieve, and we'll just show you shortly how we implement that from a setup perspective. What I will do is I'll quickly jump into here. We've got a race running there, but what I'll do is I'll jump into the exotic screen, excuse me, and this is our current setup that achieves the particular combinations of numbers that we were looking at. In other words, it achieves these outcomes, okay, based on how we've defined the groupings over here per the earlier example. But all we need to do to uniquify these is to just tick that and the green light goes on, and now when it transacts it'll be doing so based on the uniquified version of those numbers. And we'll come back a little bit later to see that actually happening live in practice, either with this event or another event. Just that there's a while to go, and we may either pick this race or another race to illustrate that for you. Okay, so thank you very much.